job. I would like for you to tell him thanks for me. And he says, oh, we don't have any Simon here. I didn't know who he was, so I never did find out who Simon was. Went home and told Mom and my dad and mother, and we hurried up and got me work clothes and got me lunch office up, and I went down there and went to work. I work all day, all winter and part of the spring, and then when the job was finished. And so Diane, Mom and I decided to go to California, so we loaded up all we had and went to California, and I got a job working in Roseville, where her mother and dad lived, and worked for Caterpillar, tractor, go out and work on tractors and welding and all of that. And I had that job all while I was in California. And Jay was born there, my first boy. And I was thrilled to have a boy born in the family. And one thing I can remember Jay when he was little, oh, he must have been about 2 or 3 years old. Like Devin, her Kent little boy, went over to her grandmother, and Diane's aunt was there from Idaho. I guess it's your dad's sister.
Aunt Bertha.
Aunt Bertha, and they come there, and Jay was right all there in front of me, and they were all talking, and Jay was missing for a while, and we didn't know where he was. And finally he came out. He was all dressed up, and combed his hair, and he had his shirt on, and his white shirt on, and all dressed up nice. He wanted to look nice for Aunt Bertha that was there. And another time I remember him when he was a grandmother. He got in the bathtub with all his shoes and clothes on, taking the bath, sitting there in the tub of water. And then went along, Todd came along, another good boy he was. And the two grew up together, and they loved to play cowboy. I guess one of them was Jet.
Slim and Jess.
Jesse. Who the other one?
Slim and Jess.
Which one was which?
Slim and who?
Todd was Slim.
Todd was Slim and
Jay was Jess.
Yeah.
Jesse, Jess for short.
They loved to play cowboy, and they had their own cowboy hat and boots, like that. And then Long John comes along, and they 3 good boys we had. And John was the type of boy that he was scared of a lot of little things. He was scared of them. One time he was afraid of something that was red. We had no reason. You remember that? There's something red. He was scared of it. And we never find out why he was afraid of it.
He was afraid of the color red? Huh.
Anyway, I gave a nose deal. I get through there like 7 years.
Jay was 5.
We were there for about 3 years. Anyway, we moved again. We went to Texas. We load all I made a camper on the back of the pickup. Load all the stuff we had and load you guys up. And we drove to Tonic in Arlington. I left my car there, and you and Mom and John stayed there while I went down to Texas to go to work and find us a house to live in. I'm going 3 months. I'm down there working 3 months trying to save up my money and found a house and bought the house and bought a brand new station wagon. And drove the station wagon home to Utah, where Mom and Dad was. Got you guys and then went back to Texas, and that's where we live. Till Lorna comes along, first daughter. And Jordan happened to the all before I get in. The kid go. Had a lot of yard to play in. We had a big backyard. And Carol comes along, 5 of us. And Mom had to stay home and take care of your kids and make sure you went to school and make sure you got home from school while I worked. But you know, this is the time when I regret it, that I was gone too much from home. I didn't spend as much time at home as I should have or would love to. I was so busy at work and I get chewed out a lot for wanting to go home and not work too many hours. I guess I was more soft-hearted too about it. Anyway, kid had a lot of neighbor kids. We play out in the yard. And had a lot of neighbors. We played football a lot. And all that. The kid went to high school and grade school and all that. And we were all busy in church. We enjoy playing baseball. All 3 of you played baseball, football. You know, and we enjoy going to the game, see you play ball.
Dad, what are some of the things you remember the boys playing together? What kind of games did the boys play?
The boys?
Yeah. Or Mom, what do you remember about that?
You guys play, all 3 of you played football. Did you play football? Yeah, you played football.
For a while.
Then you play, and then all 3 of you played baseball.
For a while.
You know, all of you play baseball too.
Until I realized how good I was. And I quit. Until I realized how good I was, and then I quit.
You could have been a better player if you wanted to play and keep at it. I remember you saying one time you hated to chase that ball. I remember that. I don't like to chase that ball.
Figures.
Well, what do you?
I don't know what you guys are gonna have to help me.
Yeah.
What about your church college? What about your church college?
Oh, I was kept busy, mostly missionary work. At home teaching to do, and I had missionary work. Seemed like I worked a lot in missionary work. I think I worked missionary work more than anything.
You were a 70, right?
Yeah, but I was maybe 70 when I lived in California. I forgot that. I was busy in church there, and I was maybe 27 person. I was a 70s going, and that kept me busy too. I had to go out and do missionary work, and had take care of all the 70 sake. Go a lot of sake meetings. So many times I go home, work long hours, and I get home long enough to bath and shave and get my clothes on and go. When I get home, the guys are on bed. Well, I don't get to spend as much time that I want to. I hope that never happened to you guys. Spend a lot more time as a kid as you can.
The girls, I don't know, maybe.
I I don't know much about the girls anymore than I do you boys. I know
They were both in sports too, right?
yeah, well, but no.
Was it just Lorna?
Lorna,
They
Oh, yeah,
didn't born,
Lorna.
but Carol didn't like it.
Lorna was on the
Yeah.
Crickets, I remember.
She played softball for several years.
Yeah.
Lorna was more sport than Carol. She loved sport, and Carol didn't care for it. She wouldn't try it. Didn't want it.
Actually, Carol played a couple of years just because we wanted her to.
Yeah,
And
she
they
did.
and if she thought people expected her to play, but she didn't like it. And after a couple of years, she quit.
What about your mission? Tell us a little bit about the mission you're getting ready to go on. Either of you.
I mentioned now. Well, there's this new mission call. I'm really excited about it. I was shocked when we got the call to Philippines. I thought we were going to go somewhere in the States, close by, but well, I'm glad to get it though. Whatever they want us to do, wherever they want us to go, it's fine. But I didn't think I would go to the Philippines or any, I was just saying.
How about you, Mom?
The mission that we've been called has given us food for thought for the cultures and the changes that will take place. We're just comfortable in being our own little comfort zone, then all of a sudden we're uprooted and go into something entirely different. We know some of the places that we'll be is not up to date in modern conveniences. There will be inconveniences that we don't have to go through now. For example, they tell us not to bring very much things that you have to plug in because their electricity power isn't very strong. You have to bring an amp or something that will charge up the batteries.
We got to remember to get that thing they told us to bring. They said they use the 220 power down there, and we need to get something to put in there to cut the power down, or else it burn everything up that we got, like iron or something.
So they tell us if we have a lot of, the power isn't as strong, so if we go use an iron, it may not get as hot as it does here, because there's not as much electricity power. And if we use too much at a time, like any place else, it'll blow everything out.
Why don't we
We need to remember to get one of those things.
Why don't we have Mom start with her?
Okay.
I forget that easy.
Okay.
Do you want to do a different tape, or are you just gonna keep rolling this one?
I guess we can keep rolling. I've got more tapes.
let's just
How many
roll
more
this one.
minutes are on that? Does it say? It should say the minutes on the left-hand side.
2.
Oh, it's almost done?
Yeah, I think it says 2. I don't have my glasses on.
That's probably right.
How do you turn it off? The red button again?
Oh, is it still running? Oh, yeah, just press the red button.
Red button. Go ahead.
Okay. I was born in Idaho in a cold climate, but in a loving family of grandparents and aunts and uncles and had cousins, very close-knit family. We grew up in Idaho,
What part?
in Rexburg.
When were you born?
I was born in 1935,
What was the date, month and
on
day?
the 7th of September, 1935.
What's your social security number?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I had I was born in my grandmother's home in an upstairs bedroom. The hospitals wasn't used by very many people during usually small home delivery when the children were born. And I remember a happy childhood, had parents that were loving and kind and did everything they could, but they expected a lot of you also. The heritage that we have is something that we need to be proud of, that we need to do the things that will help us to make them so they're not ashamed of us. So when we go back to the spirit world, they will not say, you didn't live up to what was expected of you. And you have our name and you tarnished our name. We don't want to do that. I went to primary. I was taught that we needed to pray, that we needed to respect our church leaders. We need to listen to what they have to tell us and learn all we can. And I grew up and had 4 younger brothers and sisters, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun.
Tell us about your brothers and sisters.
My oldest sister, she's younger than I am. Her name is Marilyn. She had blonde hair. My next sister, Linda, had dark hair. And then my brother, Boyd, I was 12 when he was born. And it was fun to take care of him. It seemed like that my mother was busy a lot with the house and church work, and so the responsibility of babysitting fell upon me and my sister. And we used to enjoy playing with him and taking care of him. And then my youngest sister was born when I was about 16, and she was fun to have around too.
Were you still in Rexburg?
We lived in Rexburg until I was 17, then we moved to California. Well, actually, first of all, my dad used to teach school, and he had a job change to work in the office of a livestock feed auction yard there outside of Rexburg. And it seemed like that they had sales 2 nights a week, and he worked late other nights a week trying to get things ready and catch up. And then on top of that, he would do church work, and he was in the bishopric a lot, and he was in the high council, and he had a lot of opportunities to serve. And so that's where I got the thought that service was important, even though I didn't appreciate it as much at the time, because the responsibility mainly was mine because I was the oldest of 5 to watch the younger children. And then he had a job offer to work in a grocery store in Idaho Falls, which is an hour away from Rexburg. And so, since I was a senior in high school, they thought that I'd want to stay and finish high school in Rexburg. But I guess I got kind of homesick, and I wanted to go be with everybody else, and so I transferred to Idaho Falls High School. And it was a big shock of the difference of the school, because Rexburg's high school was small. I mean, it wasn't tiny small, but it was smaller than the high school in Idaho Falls. And then my dad had offered to go to California to work for an auction yard in Roseville, and the partners were LDS, were members of the bishopric. And I don't know how they got Dad's name or how Dad got a hold of it, that job, but he took it. And so he went to work there for a month or so to get started, and the rest of us stayed in Idaho Falls. And then he came home at Christmas time, and then we made the move to Roseville, California in '53, where I finished high school at the 3rd high school. 3 high schools in the current high school year. But the church was strong. We had a lot of good friends. The youth group was good in our ward and stake, and we had a lot of fun activities. And then then your dad had a chance to serve as a missionary in Roseville, so that's where he got to meet him. And his companion, he was at the house a lot, and it was come home from youth meetings at the church, and he and his companion was sitting at the table eating, so I'd get my plate and sat next to him and would eat them, and then they'd do whatever they did, and I'd help clean up the kitchen and that sort of thing. Then I went to Rick's College. Dad was transferred to another part of his mission. I went to Rick's College and went a semester, came home, decided I want to go to BYU. And so that was when your dad and I started getting together and going, doing things, and then we decided that we were going to get married, which we did.
Who made the first contact after Dad got home from his mission, him or you?
I did.
You contacted him?
Well, I take it back. No, he did. He
I wrote to my mother.
he wrote to Mother and Dad, and they either sent me the letter to read or told me that he wrote. And so I answered. And then things went on from there. He came over a time or two until we really started liking each other even more, and then we'd see each other on a weekly basis, because he'd had a long way to go, like 150 miles or so, just to come up to see me. So we just took the time to enjoy. And then when we got married, we lived in Price.
What attracted you to him more?
What attracted me to him? He
More-
was tall, dark, and handsome, and his sincerity in the church, the way he was able to communicate with people despite his speech problems. He was able to reach them not through words as much as it was through the way he was, and being able to tell people about the church where they could understand.
Okay.
And how